In this second part we're going to talk about correlation, and that's just a word that describes how closely connected things are, if they are connected at all. These are some examples. So we've got a scatter graph for people's age versus their hair, so how much hair they've got and what their age is, and this is for males. So as you get older, if you're a boy, then you would expect probably that you're going to get less hair. You lose your hair essentially. So when people are fairly young, they've got quite a lot of hair, and as people are getting older and older, the amount of hair they've got is decreasing for most people. This is an example of something we would call negative correlation, which is spelled like this. So negative correlation, and we sort of think about, if I was going to say that these are all on a line, approximately where would that line go? That's called a line of best fit. There's a few different ways of doing it, but generally you can just do it by looking at whereabouts does it look like it should go, and that seems a pretty good guess for that one. Down here we've got people's age and how much they get paid, their salary in thousands of pounds, and again it seems sensible for this one that as you get older there's some sort of connection with your salary, and the connection is that your salary usually goes up. If you're older, you tend to expect to be being paid more for a variety of reasons, like experience, or maybe you've got promotion to a better job. So our line for this one, maybe something like that. That sort of seems to be roughly where all the crosses or the points are going. And because this time, as the age is going up, our horizontal, as these values get bigger, so do these values. So this is called positive correlation. This one over here is people's pulse in beats per minute and their arm span. And there doesn't really seem to be much of a straight line going on here. It's probably not that natural to assume that if you've got a good pulse rate or a high pulse rate or a low pulse rate, that has some connection to do with the length of your arms. There might be a slight connection, but it's obviously not really very clear from this where a line would go. So we just say that there is no correlation for this one. So there's essentially three types of correlation. It's either positive, negative, or there's no correlation. These are the two graphs that we did in part 1. I would suggest that for foot length and height, broadly speaking, if people are taller, then you might expect them to have bigger feet. It's to do with balance. And again, a line may be like that. The crosses are not particularly close to this line, so I'd be tempted to say that this is a weak positive correlation. The weak's just a judgment call as to how close the crosses are to that line. Looking at the one where people were going to bed, what time they go to bed and what time they get up, I don't think it's really very clear where a straight line is. I could plausibly put one sort of there, but then it would miss out these crosses down here. If I go there, I'm missing out the ones at the top. If I go there, it's not really very obvious, and there might be people that would suggest perhaps I could put a one going through there and not worry about these down here. So I think it's probably safest for this one to say that there's no real correlation. So I'm just going to say no correlation. And here are the key points for scatter graphs, but specifically correlation.